Welcome to episode 3
of the Camp Girls Crafty Cast.
Part 2, or take 2. This is how bad it's been.
Yes.
We tried to do this podcast or film it yesterday with both the dogs in right after work, and it definitely didn't want to happen.
No.
We had dogs squeaking balls, we had dogs shaking the tripod.
Coming up here.
Oh yeah, we'll put some outtakes at the end. It'll be a great gag reel. But we've decided that we were going to totally scratch that one and try it again. So hopefully we can get it good this time.
I mean, we had nice outfits. We picked out nice jewelry. Today, we just don't care.
Yeah.
It has been an unmotivated day. I got up late because Merlin, if I say his name, Merlin jumped on my bed.
Which is our 9-month-old puppy, German Shepherd, Black Lab puppy.
So then we did a stroll around the gardens, and then we had breakfast, and then we decided to go get dog food. Well, dog food meant going to another town over because we needed special dog food for the old lady. We didn't take the old lady, who was 11 years old, Morgan. So we just took Merlin. Surprisingly, he did very well in the stores. All the clerks loved him. He got some treats.
People were able to come up and just pet him, and he didn't, shy away or try to bite their hands off or anything like that.
Yeah, so he did good. We tried to stop at a lake on the way home. There's people fishing, so we went to a river instead. So we might put a little clip of him jumping around.
Yeah.
It was kind of deep, so we kept him on a leash just in case he would
He's never really been in water, so I don't know if he understands swimming at all.
So then we came home and knitted and watched a podcast, and now she's more motivated than I am to do this podcast right now.
We watched a couple podcasts to motivate ourselves. We were behind. We were watching, which ones did we watch?
Rewatch Chevrolet.
Yeah.
I think, if that's how you say it. I'm sorry if it's not. We watched So Ray Me UK.
Yeah, she's doing some fabric bundles. So we had to look that up and see exactly what those are all about. What a fun idea.
Yeah, those are interesting. And then we watched a little bit more of Tales from the Cuckoo Land, which we love her.
Yeah.
But I think we're caught up on everybody because, last night we watched Little Drops of Wonderful, which she did some solar dyeing, which I totally want to try that.
Yeah.
That's one kind of dyeing that we have not tried yet.
Since it's nice and warm.
Yeah.
And we also watched the Crazy Sock Lady. She had another one right before she went on vacation.
Yeah.
So we were kind of excited to see that. Can't wait for her to get back and see what new stuff she has. So
totally. We're going to try to crochet while we do this, since some people have mentioned that we fidget.
So we're going to fidget and do something.
Sorry, Tanya.
She's not the only one. Others are like, you need to look at the camera. I've tried. I feel like I'm staring through the camera. So
I'm going to pierce your eyes.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So, what do we got going on?
Well, if you're interested, we do have an Etsy shop. It is called Narwhal's Creations. We are also located on Ravelry. Mine is Crocosmia24.
And mine's Narwhal21. And we try to keep that up to date. I know that as we buy yarn, I'm trying to put it on there. Now that I'm looking at some acquisitions or buys here, I don't know if those are on there, but we try really hard. I know our projects are pretty up to date on there because that's the only way we know if we finish something to tell you guys about. So
true. And we're also on Facebook and Instagram. Just our personal pages.
And obviously we have Camp Girls Crafty Cast on YouTube here. That's probably what you're watching this podcast on. Make sure you like and subscribe. We have put out probably about 7 snippets. A snippet is just a short little check-in saying here's the garden, or here's how we make this kind of bread, or can something. They're usually not over 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know. We tried to keep them short.
Yeah. So if you like and subscribe, you'll get notifications when... or if you hit the bell icon, you'll get notifications on when we put those up. So that'll be really helpful for if you're enjoying listening to us and see what we're doing. So
yeah.
So what do we want to talk about today?
So with FOs, finished objects.
And how many do you have?
Uno.
Well, I thought you had two.
No.
Oh.
Unless I forgot about one. I don't think I do. I mean, yeah, no, I just have one.
Oh, okay. Well, show them to one.
Okay, so these are my rainbow socks. I did get them finished. This yarn is the one that I dyed myself. I had used a stock pot, and I had, I believe, 5 mason jars in the stock pot with different colors. And then I just wove the yarn in and out of the stock pot. Or the jars that were in the stock pot. We're going to try to get through this.
Loma probably has enough stock pots she could yarn it through a bunch of stock pots.
Probably. So I did use my my favorite vanilla sock pattern. I didn't make that many changes to it from the last time I made this pattern. They're still a little big. That's okay. Interesting thing is when I washed them, the green was the one that was bleeding more. You'd think it would be the red, but
I think maybe we put extra green.
yeah,
because
I wanted a vibrant green. Yeah, but yeah. So those are done.
Okay. My finished projects are FOs. I have the Co-Pilot cowl. You may have remembered me knitting on this last time. It is, or they call it a shawl. It could be, it's more of a infinity cowl to me. But what this is almost like a lacy pattern. It is made of AJHC's Sweather Weather. I messed that word up last time, so I have to do it very slowly.
Yeah.
But it's got some burgundies and hunter green and navies in it. So it will be, it's a little bit long. So we're hoping that we can do a double, kind of like an infinity scarf, and kind of do that.
I'll wear it.
I will post some pictures. We did a photo shoot. I'm trying to, when I make something, actually put it on and go, you know, put a nice outfit on and model it maybe, because then I could be happy about it. Also,
it's been a while since I've made this pattern.
Are you forgetting?
Yeah, a little bit.
What are you working on?
I'm working on one of my washcloths that I do, and it's sorry, there's dog hair. What do we call it?
Bubbles or
no? It's like
I
want to say chubby, but that's not right.
We'll have to look it up and put it up below.
It's got little like nubs on it. Maybe it's called nubby. I don't know.
Chubby nubbies. So I finished, as Echo's working on hers and forgetting what it is. I finished a dishcloth. This is the granny dishcloth. It's just out of sugar and sweet, or I don't know. The cotton.
Peaches and cream.
Peaches and cream. The all cotton yarn.
You did that last time too.
I know. Sugars and gumdrops or something. But this one's added to the Yarn Hoarders Dishcloth Challenge 2020. And I have now gifted that to my mother. She will be picking it up here soon, since when I gave it to her, she kind of forgot it here. So there's a pile of forget stuff.
Yep.
And then my last finished project is not knitting or crocheting, but it is hand embroidery. I don't remember ever doing hand embroidery. I posted this online and said that it was my first hand embroidery project. It is from
Corvid Fiber Company.
Corvid Fiber Company. She was part of a virtual fiber festival recently with
it was a whimsical weekend viral fiber festival, and it had probably like 6 different groups.
But I finished it. I posted it, and the funny thing is when I posted it, I said it was my first hand embroidery with, you know, the moon phases and mushrooms and stuff. And I just befriended the art teacher from our middle school. Now, if you don't know where we went to middle school, which was northwestern Pennsylvania, they have middle school, which is 5th grade through 8th grade.
8th grade, yeah.
And I remember that art class. I remember being at the art class. We talked earlier that I don't remember a whole bunch, but I didn't remember doing embroidery. Do you?
The only fiber stuff I remember is like the card weaving, where you take the cardboard and you make a loom and then you weave under that. and like paper mache and
Yeah, I remember doing clay.
I don't remember.
But
Mrs. Ostrander said that we did,
oh, well,
so.
she said I did, and it was not my first hand embroidery. So this is at least maybe my second or third hand embroidery. My first remembered hand embroidery. The one thing I do very much remember from that class is learning calligraphy, which she doesn't.
Yeah.
She says that was a long time ago. So I didn't say it. She did, but I actually still do calligraphy. I pick it up here and there,
Yeah.
and we were just talking about maybe putting something on our Etsy store that has some calligraphy involved in it. So we'll see. We have more.
Yeah.
That's the finished objects. You'd think we'd have more done, but we have been doing some of the garden and trying to do some stuff around the house. I know that some of the snippets we've shown some canning of sweetbread.
Yep.
We've done the start and finish of the garden, start and planting of the garden, and then we've had some updates. I'll be showing some flowers that have been blooming probably in the intro and ending of this video. What else have we been doing?
Mom and Dad came to visit.
Oh, yes. Our parents came to visit, and that was lots of fun. We have a puppy of 9 months that has not seen my parents at all.
Since he was, they saw him during Christmas, and he was, 3 months?
Yeah, he was a really puppy and slept and ate. Now he sleeps, eats, and chews on things. And wants the ball thrown in the house. So that was interesting. But other than that,
yeah,
we should have more done.
Yeah, we should. Well, we've been trying to get our Etsy shop supplies a little bit more.
Yeah.
So when we do our Etsy update, you'll see everything that we've been working on when we should have been. All of my whips that I'm going to show you, I haven't worked on in a while, because we started a summer sock camp. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyways, so I'll show this one first. Oh, no, not the, well, I guess. I guess I can show you this one. So this one is a shawl that I'm trying to work on. So this is a DK weight. It is called Boomerang. And I'm just trying to find like a simple shawl that I can do some hand-dyed yarn with, and then try to, I don't know, give to friends or sell at a craft show or something like that. I don't know. This is my first one though. This yarn I had got from Knit Picks, and we dyed it with, I believe it was cherry Kool-Aid, and it came out really light pink. If you know me, I don't like pink. So we tried to over dye it with Wilton's, like a maroon. This is what came out.
So I've been working on the Adventuresome wrap. This one was shown, I don't know exactly, it was online, and then I know that Becky at BS Studios had posted it as something for Advent calendar yarns. And so I have an Advent calendar. You want to pull that down?
Maybe.
Watch all my ends there, you know?
Yeah, I know.
So you look at it and it's going to be that wave. I can stretch it, you know. It's going to look a lot better once it's blocked.
Yeah.
But these are all colors from a Stargate Advent calendar that was from
Storytelling.
Story Weaver yarns. I'll connect that in the notes so you can see it. But what I've done is yarned them all up and just put them in this is an old Tupperware container. But they fit real nicely, because what I'm going to do is I have to go through all the colors and then end up going back through them again, because I made it a little bit shorter, and these were bigger skeins, and I only had 12 opposed to 24.
Yeah, other one.
So,
in my wonderful little bag of Morgan.
Before Merlin.
Before Merlin.
You know, she's really happy.
Now she's just sitting there like, oh, they're doing this again. I thought they did it last night.
Deja vu.
Yeah, seriously. So this is, it's called Whirl. It's by Cassandra Lyons. And it's just a cowl, but it's made out of lace weight. I don't know if you can see the leaves starting to form there, But this was probably the first yarn that I ever purchased. You'll see in the previous episode that I went into detail in it. But I think it's coming out pretty nice. But yeah. I think in the last episode, I only had like 2 or 3 rows done at the bottom.
Yeah.
So I've gotten pretty far, and in my mind, I've gotten pretty far.
So are we going to talk about our sock camp? Because that's my next whip.
All right, well, let me talk about this one, and then we'll talk about sock camp.
Okay.
Because this is my... Yeah. And then we can talk about sock camp.
Okay.
Okay, so this is... I started my first... wardrobe outfit or...
Clothing.
Wearable
There you
besides scarves. I want to make a sweater. I want to knit a sweater so badly, but I'm nervous too. Yeah, so I'm going to crochet one first. And this is the Genesis cardigan. So I had started that. And this yarn is the Red Heart Mandala. Colorway is Warlock. I had it for a while. So...
It's nice and earthy.
Yes, it is earthy. And right now, it smells really, really good because Loma had created little scent packs. And this one has my favorite scent of Neg Champa. So, it is super nice.
So we
right
just
now.
throw that little pack in our project
Yeah.
bag so that way the yarn can start getting that smell to it. I can't remember what this one has, but...
I don't know. But this is the whole back panel. And I am starting, you make 2 front panels and then you sew it all together. So here's the front panel. I think I need a little bit more, but we are working on it.
That's a little risque if that's all you're going to do for the front.
But yeah, that is my other whip. Now we can talk about sock camp.
Okay. So, Crazy Sock Lady, I have one of her business cards here. It's Kay. She does the podcast Crazy Sock Lady. And this year she decided to do a summer sock camp 2020. So since everything's going on and everything's going virtual right now, this is a virtual sock camp. So what she's set up is she had done 3 podcasts or instructional videos,
Tutorials,
on how to do vanilla sock in 3 different methods. So you got 9-inch circulars, DPNs, double point needles, and magic loop. So thinking about those 3, she did a video, and she also sent out, you could purchase the pattern. She has it as a bundle pattern on her Etsy and Ravelry, I think.
I believe so, yeah.
To give you the written, and then she did the video. The videos are free. The written patterns, there is a small fee. But she really likes to give information. She's been helping Echo with the fact that her socks are a little bit baggy. But when you read the pattern for her foot size, she should have that size and stuff. So she's been troubleshooting that, and she's been doing that for everybody. Yeah. It's amazing.
Very helpful.
I don't know where she's finding all the time for this.
Yeah, I don't know.
But so she turned around and she said, well, this year I want to do a camp. So she did the summer sock camp, and she's got a little pin right there. You may be shining with the light. But so what she did is set up that you can knit any sock, any pattern, any color. She doesn't care, and you can put it into...
There's an Instagram hashtag, and then you can also go on to Ravelry and be on the chatter group.
The chatter. So, so when you put in your sock, you finish your sock. Like I have my first vanilla sock right here, and I'll talk more about that one. This one was done on 9-inch circulars, but I will be submitting this to what she calls the 9-inch circular cabin. So at camp, a lot of times you'd stay in a particular cabin. I know one camp's like beaver and moose and, I don't know, raccoon cabin, or they had colors or something like that.
The only cabin I've been to was Camp Fitch, and they didn't have anything like that.
No, and I went to 4-H camp, and I know that we had cabins. I want to say we were colors because our lanyards had a certain color on them, so we were in that particular camp. But that was a while. I think that was before the middle school art class. So, but depending on how you knit your sock, Depends on which cabin you put it in. So she's got 9-inch circulars, DP ends, magic loop, and then she's got a wild card. So if you don't use one of those and you use something else, you can put into the wild card. So
what else is there to use?
2 at a time. Afterthought everything. There's the flippies, which I got a set, but
the flexies.
Flippy flex. And then I think she's learning there's a lot of other things, and I know that Kay was actually talking about she wants to learn these other methods so she can help troubleshoot those, but you know, she's the crazy sock lady, so she wants to learn everything she can about socks.
Yeah.
And she's going to. So this is one of my work in progress. I got one sock finished. Like I said, this is a 9-inch circular that I use. This pattern is the vanilla sock that Kay had come out with. Oops, vanilla sock on 9-inch circulars. The yarn is Lolo Didits. The body is Dothraki, which is a reference to Game of Thrones. And the toe, which was also supposed to be the heel, but I was halfway through before, so we're getting there. I thought maybe the next one I'd do a heel and a toe and it'd be mismatched. Yeah. But it's also Lolo Didits, but it's Sassenach, which is a reference to
Outlander.
So I think they go really well. I love the earthy tone to them, but they're still kind of light. So, so I have one of them done. And you can see we did some bags with the summer sock camp image on them. Just for ourselves, you know. We sent some prizes over. But I have gotten a little bit further. Echo hasn't gotten his fur, but... Haven't got his fur. But I've got all the way up to my heel turn. Next I'm going to have to pick up stitches, which, you know, I'm going to have to think about that.
Super fun.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to think about that.
Yeah.
So that's what I have for my first whip, or first sock whip.
Yeah.
So what do you have for your whip?
So this is my first one. I did get one done. So as Loma had said, I had contacted Kay and told her that, you know, these socks, they're baggy. I feel like they're too big. I like how they look, but it's just, after I wash them and everything, they're still loose on my foot. And I'm the type of person that when I put a sock on, I like it to be a little bit tight. So...
Because by the end of the day, it's sagging.
It's sagging, yeah. So it's falling off your foot and stuff like that. So she had suggested, I had used US 3 on those. She has suggested that I go to US 1. So I did that. These are the next pair that I make. I think I'm going to make the circumference a little bit bigger because I do have wide feet. So these are 64 right now. I think I'm going to bump up a little bit.
64 stitches?
64 stitches around, yeah. Which I had tried, and I don't know if you can see it. I did a twisted rib because I like it to be a little bit tighter at the cuff. Like it. It's just...
You found a video on that, didn't you?
Yeah, I found a video, but I think the pattern that it comes out with is, I just like it. So that might be my new type of cuff. But, yeah. I don't know. I like them. And this yarn is AJHC's Galactic Adventure. So here's her. Galactic, yeah. So that's her logo. And this is a 75% Murano and 25% nylon. And so, wow, I'm all messed up here.
Woohoo!
So, this is how far I've gotten. I did my cuff. I did my leg, and now I'm working on my heel flap. And one thing that Kay had mentioned was to do your heel flap, go to DPNs.
Yes.
Because then you have more space. Because then you're not all bunched up on your 9-inch circular. Love it. I think that's the new way I'm going to do it.
That's what
And after this one, I kind of want to try the magic loop next. I don't know if I'll do a vanilla sock or maybe retry to do the Hermione sock. Yeah. I love the pattern. Last time I did it, I got very frustrated. But
ribbit.
Yeah, and I ribbed it all like
twice, didn't you?
Twice or even 3 times. I don't know. But we might switch it up. I might take one of Kay's patterns, maybe the Austin socks or the Wyatt socks. I don't know. We'll see.
I hear her sons love to hear that people make their socks.
Yeah, so I might just have to make one just to do
Yeah.
it.
So my last whip is another sock. Because I was kind of waiting for Echo to get further on her sock, I stopped at the heel.
So she started another sock.
So I started another sock. You know, why not? So this is my pain in the butt pattern that I had. It is the Order of Merlin sock. It was a pattern that came out by Lolo Did It. She actually did knit along with it. I was all gung-ho. I was going to use the Dothraki. I got the Lolo Did It kit to do this sock pattern. I did it quite far. I think I was past the heel or something, and I put it on, and it was so stretched out I could probably see my pulse through it. So I was very, very upset because this is a lot more difficult pattern than what I've done. So I ripped it all up, and I didn't touch socks for a little while. Everything was in recess or timeout.
Yeah.
So I decided I didn't like the Dothraki. The speckling didn't go well with the pattern, because if you look at this sock actually has its own patterning to it. It's got some mock cables, and then it's got this kind of like a checker or makes me think of Braille kind of row to it.
It's very pretty.
Yes, and this sock yarn.
Did you look it up?
No. And I can't say that. Fusaki?
But that's the same company that I did, nope, not this
I'll
side.
write it down, but that's the name of it. I'm a terrible reader.
Yeah, but
sorry.
it's the same yarn that first one that I bought, this stuff.
Yeah.
It's the same company.
But it's hand painted, superwash, wool blend. The color is 1009, and it's got a nice word on there. I will not
Nice long
know.
word.
Yeah, I'm barely understanding English sometimes, so reading other words is difficult. But I really fell in love with this color because it's just so warm and cozy. It's a nice gray with, it's two-tone gray kind of in it, and then there's specks of brown. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like almost like little dirt marks in it. It sounds bad, but it looks just so cozy. I can just see a big old sweater that you wrap up in that color. But I think with it not being so variegated, you're really seeing the Order of Merlin pattern a lot better. So,
and you have to finish them because we do have a puppy named Merlin.
Yes, I'll put a picture in here. This morning when we were contemplating what we were doing with the podcast, because it was such a horrible first take, I sat in my chair and I was knitting on the Order of Merlin sock while Merlin, our puppy, was sitting right beside me sleeping. So it's super cute.
While I was upstairs sleeping in my bed.
Well, she was taking her Saturday morning snooze.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something.
But I have this in one of my project bags that we just recently started making. We'll show you some other ones. But I have the two Crazy Sock Lady. She came out with 2 enamel pins. Actually, there's several of them. She's got Scrappy Sunday. But the Crazy Sock Lady and Summer Sock Camp. So I'm excited. I got the embroidery on one and the pins on another. I'm all set.
And I don't have any on mine, so I'm doing great.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, well. Oh,
I got to use them or I'm going to be, why did I get them?
Yeah, true.
So, I think that's all the whips.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so we have been working in the garden, and if you remember from any of our other podcasts, we have several kind of side gardens. We have a small one in our backyard. Our neighbor wanted to learn how to do gardening, so we helped him kind of learn plants, and he has gone mega garden. He's got all kinds of
lots
raised mounds, and it is gorgeous over there. And we also have a garden that we kind of took over across the street, where we put a big fence up, and we get a lot of product out of that. But the neighbor on our side of the road, he actually put spinach in. His grandkids said, we want spinach, which I thought was weird because I don't, as a kid, I would never have ate spinach.
Because we only thought the way to eat spinach was cooked because that's how Mom and Dad did it.
Slimy green stuff. but he has so much spinach coming out of his ears. We're freezing it. We're giving it away to friends and family and stuff like that. But I got the idea to actually dehydrate some of the spinach and turn it into like a spinach powder. And this is some of the powder that I made. I have dehydrators and I just put it in the dehydrator, dried it out, and then I put it into, I think it's a coffee grinder or coffee, grinder.
Yeah.
To really get nice and powdery. So what we'll end up doing is putting this, you can put it in scrambled eggs, you can put it in soups.
I thought tuna fish.
Yeah, when you make like a tuna salad or a macaroni salad and you just want those little flecks of green, because we don't like crunchy things like celery or onions.
Sorry, Mom. It didn't click.
We don't like this. I might be able to pull some of the itsy stuff out. Maybe I could salvage something from our earlier podcast. We'll be wearing different clothes, but close enough.
It's okay.
We'll go over to our shop and be professional.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So I guess we can do an Itsy update right now. Like we said, we donated bags to Crazy Sock Lady Summer Sock Camp, and we figured we should get some done because we have a feeling that she will show them and direct traffic to our Etsy shop, so we kind of figured we should have some in the Etsy shop.
And so, like I said, you'd seen.
Trying not to laugh, but Merlin is staring straight at us.
I probably had to cut out some stuff because he was in his toy box digging for a toy. There he goes again. So, our lives. So I'd showed this bag that I made up with the logo on it for the sock camp. So we're trying to do something with a heavier bottom, a zipper or a drawstring, a handle, and I do have a pocket in there.
Do you have one in that one?
One what? Pocket? Yeah, I got a pocket in all of them.
Ah.
So this is an idea of a drawstring one. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
So you have the drawstring, which when it's got stuff in it, it really cute. Echoes was shown really well with the yarn
so
in
this
it.
this is with a project inside already. As you can see, it's hanging out there.
So the pocket I keep talking about is I put a diagonal pocket, so that way when you have your knitting needles, you can just slide those in with the yarn in it, and that way they're not just down in there running around like our dogs are right now.
Yeah, literally. So this one is a nice green and purple and blue polka dot.
We got pink and white stripes.
We got some tie-dye, which I don't think it made it into this Bargello, but it probably made it into another quilt. And this one is a drawstring one as well.
And then we have the zipper ones, which is exactly the same sizing. It's just the closure is a little bit different. They both all have the pocket in them. So this one's our measuring tapes.
I think this one came out pretty cool. Tie-dye. But this tie-dye was different, and so the back is kind of solid, which is, I like it though. And on the inside there's this nice brown color.
So we've got
gray.
red, brown, gray.
I thought this one had, oh well, whatever.
I picked the colors, so I guess she forgot. Red trucks with that gray in there. This is a grunge colored gray, which is really fun. It's got some blue in it. And then we were able to use some blue jeans.
Yeah, blue jeans. This one is a nice like vintage country. I think it came out really nice. And this one has gray on the inside. I'm going to start looking before I tell you what color it is.
This one's a yellow flower. I'd found this fabric, and I don't like yellow. If anybody knows me, I do not like yellow, but there's something about this fabric. I just thought it was so cute.
It's like Alice in Wonderland look.
Kind of. And this one we just did a light gray interior. But it's funny how you could put gray and brown together in this one. You usually never see gray and brown together.
Another batik that I donated to the cause.
Oh, we're donating fabric now, huh?
And this one has a nice green inside.
And these two still need the drawstrings, but we got some blue and green waves. And this one is all about knitting. We have knitting is the new yoga, knit purl, knitting, knitting spelled out and what it means. It's really fun and Definitely a knitter would absolutely love that one. So those are all available on the site.
And if you see, some of them will have complimentary other bags. The single bags like this one.
The one skein,
The one skein. So that way you can have a match set if you would like.
Well, do you want to talk about your quilt first?
Yes, I guess we can talk about
Since
my
we're
quilt.
on fabric and not yarn.
So, this is my first Bargello quilt. Our local fabric shop. I wanted to say yarn shop right off the bat, but you know.
It's Michele's Quilting Center.
In Blue Earth, Minnesota. And Carrie Meyer and her decided to do a Bargello class. And the fabrics that they picked out were Christmassy and really nice. And of course, you know us, we have to change it. So I had these picked out. So the last time...
No, you can't have that toy. No, let go. No. No. Okay, start.
In our first podcast, you saw that I had the Irish moss quilt behind me, or behind us. So those fabrics had been picked out for that quilt specifically, and then this class came up, and I just had to do a Bargello with Batiks. And so
I think we're gonna stop here. We'll have an update on our Etsy shop, but I am thankful that everybody is watching us. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Again, do the like and subscribe so you can see when our new events come up. And meet us up on our Etsy or Ravelry or Facebook or anything like that. And I think that's it.
I think so.
Well, thank you very much, and we'll see you later.
You guys have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.